Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 13, episode 2, and today we're playing our first game at Sporting Lisbon, and it's an opportunity to win a trophy as well, as we play the Portuguese Super Cup final against last season's league champions Benfica. We've got a massive start to the season ahead, Champions League qualifiers to get into the group stages, the start of our league season with our second game being Porto at home, one of the other teams in the big three of course, and then we've got the start of our two domestic cup competitions, which are going to be so important to our success here this year. But first, if you're not sure why we're at Sporting Lisbon, do go back and check out the last episode. As we go along today, you'll obviously be seeing lots of new players in action. If you want to know a bit more about all of our stars, we met the first team squad, had a look at all the key players in detail, met the key staff as well at the club, and just had a bit of a look around in the last episode. So do go back and check that one out if you haven't seen it already, before getting into the season with us here today. A big thank you to everyone who continues to follow the series and all of the content across the channel. A massive thanks for those of you who have supported the new Cricket 19 career series. I really am enjoying that and I hope you are too. If you're new to the channel then subscribe for daily FM19 content as well as regular content from Cricket 19 as well. If you're glad to see us here in Portugal, as I mentioned it's the first time I've ever managed here for a full season in FM and hopefully we will get to see out the season too, unless we have an absolutely disastrous start. So if you're a fan of Sporting Lisbon, do put a thumbs up on the video and I hope we'll be able to finish with some success today and adding yet another trophy to our illustrious career. But before we get into the game of course, we have got a few transfers to talk about. We met 4 or 5 stars in the last episode as you know. Unfortunately 2 of them have now left the club, but we've got some new signings in as well, including one very familiar face. There's one player from the first team squad that's on the move at the moment. They're in negotiations to leave the club and they could be replaced by a second familiar player, another one who we managed last season. So if we go to the transfer screen, our first choice left back is on the verge of moving to Red Bull Salzburg. That would be for 18.5 million, and look who the director of football's trying to sign as a replacement. Anthony Vernier, a star for us at Napoli last year. Again Man City have got him on the loan list, so he seems to be taking advantage of that. He is trying to address the goalkeeper problem. So many players have turned him down, but he's got 2 more on the go at the moment as we go into this season with just 1 goalkeeper available. We're also very short in central midfield and it seems like he's trying to link us up with some of our former players. La Roca and Gomez both rejected deals. Our director of football going for players we know. I'm not sure if I should be surprised by that or if he's just putting 2 and 2 together. These players left their loans at Napoli. They're all probably loan or transfer listed again, and maybe if they're the best available players in the market and he can see that I've had success with them before, he would probably be a bit stupid not to try and sign them. So I guess it makes pretty good sense and I'm not too surprised by it overall. So it may look a little bit strange, but I guess the values of it are sensible and I can understand why it's happening. But if we go to our transfer history, we've got 4 ins to talk about. One of them we met in the last episode and one of them's a very familiar name. But first we've got to deal with 2 big outs as well as loads of loans arranged by our director of football. The biggest ones have gone to the likes of Sociedad and Hamburg, so there are some big names there. But if we focus on the 2 big money sales, first is Edin Tasanovic, the one brilliant central midfielder we had. He's gone to Atletico Madrid for over £35 million. He's going to be an absolute superstar and we're sad to see him leave the club. And then our first choice goalkeeper, the only one we had at the time, he went to Stuttgart for 29 million. A return to Germany and I wasn't devastated. As we mentioned in the last episode, he had a recurring injury, so it wouldn't have been good for him to be our reliable first choice. So we have got a replacement in for him who is pretty good, but aside from that it's been a very frustrating window. So the pre-agreed transfer you already know, Michel coming from Arsenal for £20 million. We'd mentioned that in the last episode and he has now joined the club, but he's going to have to play on the right side of the 2 centre-halves despite being a left footer as we're dominated by left-sided defenders again. Moving on, we've got Ekede Gerardo, of course the familiar name from last season, top scorer in Serie A with Napoli. They weren't able to agree his deal and he's now joined us on loan from Manchester City, solves the problem with our other striker strikers. He is absolutely world class, and as I said last year at Napoli, I think he can be the difference between first and second. So let's hope that's the case again, but we won't let him take any penalties this year. And then on to the other two, Nuno Kuna, who's the replacement for Tasanovic in the middle. Probably not the best signing and not at the same standard yet. 3-star ability, 3-star potential, 29 years of age, been a bit of a journeyman across various clubs, played in Holland last for Vitesse Arnhem, and he's a decent player across the board, and he will have to start again today, as he is one of only 2 central midfielders at the club, but he's only been signed as a rotation option, which gives me a little bit of hope that our director of football's trying to sign a big one yet. And then finally a goalkeeper, this time coming in from Germany, joined from Mainz for 16.75 million, a bit of a profit based on the one we sold. Fabrizio is a Brazilian goalkeeper, 23 years of age, 4-star ability, and he looks absolutely sensational. He's played in Brazil for Monaco and for Mainz, and he looks a really good pro. I think probably a slight upgrade in that position, though we are obviously paying him a monstrous wage. Our director of football deemed it appropriate for him, and we look forward to him being our number 1 this year. So although we're a little bit weaker in the middle of the pitch than last season, we are definitely better up front and in goal. It's just the areas in between that are a little bit weaker, so it could go either way really. We'll probably learn a lot more in this game. If we could get Anthony Vernier in at left back, I'd feel a little bit more confident, but we do really need a central midfielder. He's obviously tried to link us up with a couple of names we already know, but he's got £50 million in the bank, so he should really be going for a midfield general. He's got loads of money remaining, and it looks like he's going to make 13 million on our left back now, so hopefully he'll have a bit more to spend too. He is linked with a goalkeeper from Tottenham, worth £8 million on 60 grand a week. That's an awful lot for a backup keeper, but he does look very good, so we're certainly not going to argue if he signs him. The third one I presume would just be as a third choice keeper, in from Austria Vienna, where they've signed a few players already in this series, and he is very much a third choice keeper. There's no need for us to get excited about him. So hopefully big signings still to come. I'm not sure when the Portuguese window shuts, so let's go along and have a look to see if we can find out when we're going to expect signings till. So let's go and have a look at the rules for the season. The transfer window's open till the 31st of August, so still plenty of time yet, and hopefully there'll be 2 or 3 big names to come in. He's done plenty of selling this summer, and now he's got time and the money remaining to bring in a superstar or two to take us on to the next level. A defender and a midfielder would be much appreciated, and then I really think we could confidently win the league. But with all that out the way so far, it's time for us to get into the big game, the Super Cup final between League champions Benfica and Portuguese Cup winner Sporting Lisbon. We're obviously in charge of Sporting, though Benfica are the slight favourites for today. We've not quite got our full squad together yet, and we have got to be a bit careful as we're playing Victoria Pelsen in the Champions League qualifier, that one starting in just 3 or 4 days' time. But we have got everyone match fit today. We need to pick ourselves a bench very quickly, something I forgot I'd taken off, to get some of the lads some under 23 football in the week. So we have got some really decent players at the club, obviously a little bit attack heavy in our backup side. I'm not quite sure who this Hugo Silva is. He's not a very good winger. He's on the transfer list at the club and he's wanted by Porto on loan. So we're going to put these 7 in the squad for today. I am going to leave out Dierkes, the third choice striker, and bring in Jallo, the wonder kid, just because he's a little bit more versatile. He can play over on the right hand side, and he's a wonder kid who we want to give football to, and today could be a good day for that. But if we put the lads in selection info order, so you can see why we've picked them and how familiar they are with our tactic, we're going with a 4-2-3-1, a very similar tactic to the one we played at both Newcastle and Napoli, but obviously we're playing with 2 central midfielders this time, as there's no holding players at the club. Nuno Kuna's fairly accomplished there, but he's far more natural in central midfield. We've got very limited options in certain areas, so Matteo, the right back, is naturally a wing back, but he's the only option we've got out there. Fabrizio is more of a defensive sweeper keeper, so we're going to take him back a notch too. But aside from that, we're trying to play players in their best roles, and we've still got that brilliant left winger supplying Gerardo up front, and that could be the key combination this season as we really look to push on in the Portuguese Premier League. But our lineup for the curtain raiser in the Super Cup final is Fabrizio, the new signing, in goal, Thomas Matteo and Josko, the fullbacks, Paxiao and Michel, the centre halves. We've got Kuna and Schürrle in the middle, Hyosung on the right wing and Ben Harash on the left, with Sousa in behind Gerardo up front. Lots of big names in this team, but can we make it across the line in the final? Let's go and get into our first game at Sporting Lisbon and hope we can start our time at the club with a trophy. Will we be able to do it against the champions? Let's go and find out. It's a 4-3-3 for Benfica. They're playing a slightly more defensive formation than us, but maybe that means they'll be able to deal with our number 10, Bernardo Sousa, the team leader, club legend, and of course the captain for this game. They've got plenty of good players, but we're going to get into this match, and fingers crossed we'll be able to get victory for the supporters, just as our assistant manager Severino recommends. Not the best coach, but we mentioned he's brilliant mentally already, so hopefully he'll be able to get the lads on the right track today, with a few of the lads seeming motivated, including Gerardo, who we've obviously managed before. We've got a tunnel interview to deal with. We've had plenty of time to think and prepare for this first game, and hopefully the lads will be able to play well today. Robin Djerkes may be leaving the club, third choice striker now, and we're still only playing one up front. We want to add another trophy to the cabinet, and of course we want to give the fans a reason to celebrate, and why wouldn't we believe we can win this game? Just 3 points separated the sides last season, and although we've lost a little bit in midfield, we've got a new world-class goalkeeper and striker who can hopefully take us on to the next level. Here's Hyosung on the right hand side as we come forward early from the kick-off, but his cross is deflected out for a throw-in, and on the right hand side we can test our long throw. Josko, the left back, delivers it into the box. Gerardo loses out in the air, and Edu Vieira brings it down for Benfica, who look to a counter-attack early on. Ricardo in the middle. He goes back to Callas, the centre-half, and it's long over the top to the centre-forward, but Piaxal mops up well, and he goes back to the keeper, Fabrizio. A really long first highlight in a match, and it normally only means one thing, and hopefully it'll be our goal here, as Ben Harush, the wonder kid, nicks the ball, finds Sousa, the world-class player. His shot's blocked and it's out to the right-hand side, delivers the second time and it's clear to Schürrle. What a long highlight this has been, a minute and a half and we're still going. Kuna gets it out to the left-hand side to Josko. His cross is cleared away by Benfica. The highlight finally ends, and with 5 minutes gone it remains goalless. It's a throw on the right hand side, Josko to take it, a long one again, headed away as far as Schürrle, who can build the attack with a second phase. Kuna back to Schürrle again, out to Gerardo, who's drifted to the left, beats two men and shoots. Fantastic finish to beat the keeper at the near post. Gerardo picks up where he left off at Napoli, a fantastic centre forward, and he is going to make the difference this season. We lead 1-0 in our first game at the club, and we lead the cup final against the league champions. All the signs are good, as Sousa has a free kick blocked. Back to Ben Harush. He finds Matteo. Into Schürrle in the middle and now Sousa. He's certainly dictating the play as he goes out to Schürrle again. He finds Michel. Now Paxal, the centre-half. Lovely passing football from the lads, but we don't want to lose the ball in our own half. Michel and Paxal just playing it along the back. We're not really making much progress in this attack. You can barely call it attack in truth, but we do finally get it out to Hyosung on the right. He's challenged and it falls for Schürrle. Sousa from the edge of the box. Good effort on goal, but it's straight at Pedroso, and with 20 gone it's still 0-0. It's Josko with a throw on the left. He finds Sousa, the playmaker, switches it out to Hyosung on the right. He's got Gerardo in the middle if he can find him, but it's a poor cross straight into the arms of Pedroso. The Benfica goalkeeper can roll it out. He finds Ferro, the right centre-half. Two teams playing low-tempo football, just trying to keep possession, as Matteo heads it away to Schürrle. Hyosung brings it over halfway, and we've just got to wait for that run of Gerardo. It's a good challenge, but it falls for Schürrle. Gerardo back to Sousa. He shoots from the edge just over the bar, and with a quarter of the game gone, we're certainly on top against Benfica. They get to even have a shot on goal. We don't know if they're playing their first 11 today, but there's a few names we recognise from our Champions League games, as Sousa puts the ball in the top corner, edge of the box on the left hand side. Absolute postage stamp finish. World class from Sousa, the number 10. We're dominating the league champions of last year, and we lead 2-0 against Benfica with half an hour gone in the Super Cup final. What a start to our time at the club. 10 minutes to half time. Can we make it even better? It's 2-0, but it's Benfica coming forward now. They've had their first shot of the match off camera. Ricardo gets it to Neskens on the right. He finds Luis and now Ricardo again, as Marin gets it in the centre circle. He finds Bernal, the striker. Gets it wide to Edu Vieira on the left. Delivers into the box, but it's blocked by Matteo. Schürrle gets it away to Sousa. Gerardo's making that run, peeling off on the right hand side. Beats one man, beats two and gets it wide. Ben Harush, the left winger, shoots, and he's straight into the arms of Pedroso. A brilliant first half performance, and I'm loving this club already. But Benfica are coming forward on the left. Josko wins it back in what could be his last game for the club, and it's a long ball over to Gerardo. He's in one-on-one. It's a brilliant save by the keeper, and it could have been 3 before half-time. I've not seen a more dominant display in a long time. This Sporting Lisbon side are really suiting our tactic, and they're going to be absolutely fantastic to manage this year. 1 or 2 star signings in central midfield, although Schürrle's got 2 assists already, and this side could be world class and maybe even compete in a Champions League. But it's Benfica on the ball at the back here with Ferro. He finds the right back Montiel. Back to Ferro again. Plenty of pressure being put on the Benfica defence as Pedroso the keeper gets it wide again. Ferro plays it out from the back to Montiel. Are Benfica going to get one back from half time? That would certainly dampen our spirits. Edu Vieira gets in, but he puts it wide at a post, and with a minute to the break it remains 2-0. A brilliant first half performance from Sporting. A fantastic performance, Gerardo and Sousa with the goals. We've really dominated the game, and Benfica yet to have a shot on target, despite our slightly ropey defence and not having many options, particularly at right back. Let's get back into the second half. All of the lads look delighted with the team talk, and now they just need to respond by playing the same again and not giving Benfica a route back into the match. Heskens to Bonau as they come forward immediately. Andre Luiz back to Ricardo. Here come Benfica down the left-hand side with Edu Vieira, but it's won back brilliantly, although the ref's given a free kick against Matteo. Here Benfica go then, they're lining up the free kick, we're straight back for it. Ricardo with a brilliant effort, the first on target for Benfica. A fantastic save from our new goalkeeper Fabrizio. He certainly looks like a good signing already. The long throw's headed away, but it's fallen to them on the left hand side again. Inside to Ricardo. He's got time, and Benfica already looking more threatening in this half. They've probably had the hairdryer treatment at half time. Montiel on the right, loses it to Ben Harush, and it's a long ball forward towards Gerardo, though the centre half mops it up. It's terrible play from Callas though, just plays it straight to Gerardo, knocks it down for him, and it's a good save by the keeper, and it's tipped behind for a corner kick. Ben Harush, the wonder kid, will take it, but it's straight to Ferro who heads away. Ricardo down the right for Benfica. Certainly been an exciting start to the half, but Michel mops up for Piakshal, and we can bring it forward with Cunha. I apologise in advance for the pronunciations this season. I'm sure you're probably already screaming at me in the comments and telling me how bad some of them are, but Hyosung's coming in on the right hand side, and as long as we've got these sort of results and performances, I'm not going to care how many names I get wrong. Cunha, the centre midfielder, shoots from 30 yards, but he's comfortably over the bar, and with 5 gone in the second half, Benfica have looked a little more threatening, but it still remains comfortable at 2-0 for Sporting. Just 15 minutes to go, we're back with Vasquez on halfway for Benfica. He finds Edu Vieira on the left and back into Vasquez again. Great run, but Schürrle intercepts brilliantly. Last ditch challenge from the midfielder, who really gets working hard to get back and make the tackle. Hyosung on the right hand side. We will see out this highlight before making some changes. I've no idea how many we get in the Super Cup as Cunha hits an effort straight at the keeper, but we will go and make a couple now and see how many we can get away with. We're going to make a straight swap at left back. Joss goes on his way out after this match, so we want to get Ruben in there. They're both 3-star ability players, so there's not much in it. Ruben's just not quite as good going forward. He is solid on the support duty though, so we're not going to have any complaints at this stage. On the right wing, we're going to bring on Rivera. He's going to replace Hyosung, and he's going to be an inside forward on attack, which is the role he prefers to have anyway. And then Jallo's going to come on up front for Gerardo. We know what Gerardo can do, and he's done his job today by getting the goal. So let's give the wonder kid 15 minutes. Jallo's on. Can he do something special to put himself in contention for the first team this season? 10 minutes to go, we're back with Ruben, the sub left back. He finds Cunha in the middle, who plays the 1-2 out there again. Ben Hurish, the wonder kid, cutting in, finds Schürrle, and now Rivera. The sub striker forces a good save from Pedroso. It's cleared away from a throw-in, and we continue to dominate this game. Ben Hurish gets the ball to Cunha. The long throw's working well, but it hasn't led to anything special yet. Sousa with the shot and it's blocked, and Cunha gets it away, and now Mizuki. He's coming down the left-hand side for Benfica. Into the box towards Andre Luiz. Unmarked in the middle, he's hit the post. Vasquez puts the rebound in, but the flag's up from the linesman, and it's been given as offside, although we're going to the video assistant referee, and he's agreed that it is offside, so no goal is disallowed, and we continue to lead 2-0. Ben Harush cutting in from the left, brilliant from the wonder kid, forces a save from Pedroso, and he's out for a corner on the right. Harush will take it himself, an in-swinging delivery, Rivera gets up and forces the save, Pedroso keeping Benfica in it. We've dominated this match from start to finish. A wonderful performance from all of the boys, and I'm really looking forward to the season even more now, as these are the league champions we're wiping the floor with. Just 3 minutes of stoppage time to go and there's only 30 seconds left of it. It's still 2-0 and we've got another long throw, although this time Benfica have hoofed it clear. Absolutely aimless, and it's through to Fabrizio, who just watches it out for a goal kick. The final whistle will surely go before he takes it. A fantastic performance from the boys, and in our first game at Sporting Lisbon, we've got a trophy to our name. I know it's only the Super Cup and it's just the curtain raiser for the season, but it's a brilliant way to start, and the pink and grey suit gets another outing. A wonderful performance from all of the boys, and I'm really looking forward to the season ahead. We're going to tell the lads they did brilliantly, the performance and the result were good, and we'll go and see what the media said about the game before planning when our next episode will be. A comfortable 2-0 victory then. Let's see what the media said. We win the competition again for the second year in a row. We lift the competition with a brilliant performance. The media agree that we dominated the match. It's hard to disagree when we had 3 times the amount of shots. Interestingly, it says Fabrizio and Cunha made their debuts for Sporting, but it doesn't say anything about Akede Gerardo. Has he played for this club before? I'm going to have to go back and look. Has he played for Sporting Lisbon? He certainly hasn't, so I'm not quite sure why it didn't say he's made his debut there. But nevertheless, he did make his debut and he got a goal, so we're happy enough with that. He ends a goal drought which apparently he had at the end of his Napoli spell again. I didn't even notice that while we were managing there. Perhaps that's why he kept missing penalties. The Benfica boss isn't happy at all. We'll deal with the press conference off camera. We won the trophy against the league champions. It's only a 2.5-star reputation competition, but getting a trophy never hurts. Bernardo Souza, the club legend, was brilliant. Our former manager Zivkovic was at the game. He's trying to sign a left back. That makes a bit more sense if he's going to Napoli. And they had Vernier last season as well. So it could be that we're swapping left backs as well as managers. It certainly is an interesting summer between these two clubs. We've got some loan offers for our wonder kid as well. They've all been accepted by our director of football, so hopefully he'll go and get some first team football at one of these excellent clubs. They're all top tier squads, including Napoli as well, so maybe he will be a superstar there. It could be a third player switching between the two. We've very quickly gone to the schedule to see when we'll next be back. We've got the third qualifying round of the Champions League, which I'm not planning to show you, as we should get through it pretty easily. We've got a relatively friendly draw in the League Cup third phase Group D. I'm not quite sure what all these competitions mean yet, but the League Cup starts with the group stage, and we've got a pretty friendly draw in it. We've got Pacos Ferreira on the first league day of the season, but we're going to come back for the second one against Porto. We should have our Champions League final qualifying round then as well, but we're going to be showing you one of the big games. It's going to be who wins the big ones out of Benfica, Sporting and Porto, so we've got to show you all 4 of those league games, and we'll start with the Porto one on the 24th of August. But if you did enjoy this first game at Sporting Lisbon and that fantastic win over Benfica, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of the signing so far. Akede Gerardo was a very pleasant surprise for me, but I'm a bit disappointed we lost that midfielder, as he certainly would have been a stronger option than Cunha. He is a decent signing, but he's not quite going to cut it at that level. Hopefully we've got one more big signing to come there. We'll obviously have some more transfer news by the 24th of August, and then again in our episode after that, as the window's open till the end of the month, just as the one in the Premier League used to be until a few years ago. As always for the first day of the season, let me know where you think we're going to finish. Are we going to be able to topple Benfica in the league, or will Porto come good and win it this time? Where are we going to finish between first and third? Let me know your thoughts and we'll see who's right. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one the head coach with our brand new club, and then our one club series part of the furniture, where we're trying to take Torquay to the top of English and European football. There's also 3 episodes a week from Cricket 19. We've started our long-term career mode series in that one, and hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I am. We also had an Ashes test playthrough in the last few weeks, so do go back and catch up with that one if you haven't seen it already. There's also weekly content from my Snooker 19 career every Friday at 4:30, but a massive thanks for your continued support with the series and for watching as always, and I hope to see you next time for our first big league game of the season as we play title rivals Porto at home.